What's going on, guys? It is Fox98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video if you guys stay here on my channel. Today we're back with my F1 2016 Career Mode Season 6, Part 6 here for the... Part 6? What the hell am I on about? It's Part 12 here for the German Grand Prix. And today, hopefully, should be another successful race for us in the championship. But if you do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to the channel already, and we're going to be carrying on with this series until the end. So as you can see, we're just going through everything at the moment, and see we've got a 77-point lead in the Drivers' Championship. Again, we're now really starting to pull away, thanks to the aids of luck, really. Williams have had a very strong run in this season, but it seems like we started to take control. But we can't think about winning the championship just yet because, of course, who knows what can happen in the remaining few races. Moving on then into the drivers, you know, all the practice programs. We only do the what's it called? The track acclimatization and also the qualifying simulation run. Because for the tyre wear test, you have to do 7 laps, and that's basically a 12.5% race. I can't be bothered. It takes way too much time, and so we don't do that because it's just so time consuming. If it was like if it was the 4 laps that you do, if you do a 25% race, the tyre wear test is 4 laps. If it was just 4 laps in the 50% race one as well, I would do it. But because it's 7 laps, it's just a complete waste of time. So I don't do it that way. But anyway, moving on then into qualifying. As you can see, Sergio Perez is the man up front, leading the way for the Force India team, until we replace him at the top with a 1:15 flat, which isn't a very competitive time at all. And you can see the Williams cars both getting themselves easily into the 1:13s. But in Q1 and in Q2, what I tend to do is I tend to run with a much higher fuel load, and then I tend to run with a very low fuel load at the end to give myself the best chances. Into Q2, and we're going to be doing a different strategy and starting on soft tyres, which is what I wanted to do. And as you can see across the line there, we went and set ourselves a 1:14.7. Again, not that competitive, but of course, what I now do, like I was saying before, is we're now going to start on soft tyres, is I use Q1 and Q2 on a very high fuel load, do some laps and see where I'm going wrong, and then on my final lap, put in low fuel and just go for it. And here, as you can see now, coming across the line, we set a 1:13.94, 4/100ths of a second slower than Valtteri Bottas, but it's Felipe Massa that takes pole position for today's German Grand Prix ahead of Valtteri Bottas. But that lap was so good, I felt. It was just the final sector, unfortunately, that ruined it for me. You saw it on that lap. The second to last corner, we went very, very wide. And it compromised our corner in too much, and who knows, that could have been the extra little 10th that we needed to move forward and potentially have taken pole position for the German Grand Prix. Moving on then into the race goals, and Emma is basically going to give us some very, very tough objectives, as she always does, and it's to finish on the podium, beat Bottas and beat a teammate, so nothing changes there. She always wants me to do well, which is undoubtable because we're in the Mercedes. But as you can see then, moving on then into the grid, you can see that Massa and Bottas cover the front row for Williams. And as you can see, myself in third, Rosberg 4/10 behind in fourth. So today especially is a good day for me in terms of being quicker than Rosberg, because Rosberg was quicker than me in Hungary in terms of qualifying. Today now I'm leading the line for Mercedes in the fight against Williams. Moving on then, you can see the grid furthest down. It's just Toro Rosso, Saubers, Manners, kind of the back markers, and then you got the rest of the field as the midfield. So that is going to be it then for the qualifying set. Now all we got to do is see what happens in the race. So having a look then at the strategy, you can see that we're going to be starting on soft tyres, moving to another set of soft tyres, and then switching to the mediums. But as you can see, there is rain forecasted in the race, and it's going to come quite close to the end of the race. So I've decided I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be actually going onto a set of the medium compound tyres straight away, and then eventually, so we can see we're going to pit on the end of lap 8, take the mediums to about lap 23, 24, and then hopefully as soon as those mediums completely wear out, we'll be able to then switch straight to a set of the intermediate tyres and evidently skip a pit stop. But in order to do this strategy right, we've got to get in front of these Williams cars so we can have track position, so then we can defend against the Williams cars when it comes to it. But as you can see now, we're on the grid here for the German Grand Prix. We've got 5 red lights in, and it is lights out. Away we go for the German Grand Prix. It's been a bad start from Valtteri Bottas, actually. He's got bogged down at the start there. I'm going to come flying through into turn 1 there, and we're all happy and all good in that end here. But you can see that my teammate Rosberg's nowhere to be seen. I believe he actually got hit into turn 1, but Massa, we're going to go down the inside of Felipe into turn 3 there. A great overtake for myself there, and straight away we got that track position that we so desperately needed. Now we can try and we're going to have to defend on this back straight, because that Williams car is going to be super fast here. But look at that, Bottas getting in the slipstream with his teammate Massa here, and Bottas might just make the overtake on Massa, and he does do that indeed. So Valtteri Bottas goes down the inside of Felipe Massa. Massa gives him the room. Bottas is now up into second place. We're in the lead of this Grand Prix, but Nico Rosberg actually got hit into turn 1. I didn't show the clip, but Rosberg, you saw, got a great start, went to the inside of Bottas, but he actually hit the back of Bottas and spun himself around. So you might be able to see it somewhere on the mini-map there in the bottom left, but Rosberg is right down the back of the field, and he's got it all to do in this German Grand Prix, whereas we are just ramping off into the distance now, as I think we just broke the DRS board there, running wide on the exit of turn 1 and into turn 2. Moving further on into the Grand Prix, and it appears that the Williams cars decided that the time was right to have an extremely long battle and basically just give it all they got against each other. So here we go then. So Massa gets the DRS, goes down the inside of Bottas. One lap later, Bottas now comes flying through with some DRS, and he's going to make the move down the inside of Felipe Massa. Massa brakes a little later than Bottas, but Bottas sneaks his car into the inside there, and he sort of gives Massa the space. Massa, they're actually going to fight this one. Felipe with some better traction on the exit of the corner. Bottas is going to have that inside line. Massa's going to cover him off though, but Bottas eventually holds it out there against Felipe. And that's their little battle sort of cancelled out for that first stint, but it doesn't end there. On to lap 8 of the Grand Prix now, and things have been very, very calm and quiet for myself in my race. I've been managing to hold a very comfortable gap over the two Williams cars, and they've not really been threatening this entire race. Yes, they've been battling, but they've not exactly been compromising themselves, as we actually get held in the pits there by Bottas coming in. So we had just the wrong, we didn't quite have the best gap I wanted over Bottas, because he held us up in the pits there. But it's not to worry, we can carry on our way. But the two Williams drivers, oh god, that's Kimi Raikkonen there, so we could get out in front of Kimi Raikkonen. We are going to get out in front of Raikkonen. So yeah, there are the two Williams cars. Massa does the undercut as well on Bottas, because Massa came in a lap earlier here. But we're going to have to defend from Raikkonen, I presume, down this back straight here, because Raikkonen is going to have the DRS on us, and we're going to have to see what we can do here. So flying through now, Raikkonen does have DRS, but even with DRS, Raikkonen is no match here. But Bottas now with DRS is going to be a threat, and he goes down the inside of Felipe Massa once again. Valtteri Bottas going to try and attack Massa, gets the move done. Good job there for Valtteri Bottas, but you can see now the top four very close to each other, but of course Raikkonen is yet to make a pit stop in this Grand Prix. Further on then into the battles of all battles of battles with Williams battling, you can see that Massa now makes the move on Valtteri Bottas, and he secures himself P2. And as you can see, I'm in P1. I'm not necessarily pulling away as much as people would have expected, because I'm using the Williams battle to look after my tyres a little bit and stretch them out, because I forgot to realise this, or forgot to say this, Mercedes pitted me for soft tyres when I selected mediums. So my strategy of taking mediums all the way to the rain is now completely out the window, because they pitted me for soft tyres, which I was really angry about at the time. So now, as you can see, I'm now looking after my tyres whilst these two are battling. I'm looking after my tyres as best I possibly can, and I'm just going to see how long I can take these soft tyres. Can I take them to the wet weather periods? Otherwise, I'm going to have to switch the strategy. So I'm really just trying to look after my tyres and think about how to go on with this race. As these two Williams, I mean, just look at them. They're just fighting each other as crazy as they can. Bottas down the inside of Felipe Massa once again. Bottas will make this one stick this time, shove Massa wide, and that is him done and dusted there. On to lap 13 of the Grand Prix now, and things are, there's a yellow flag there. You can see in the bottom left in the mini-map, there is a yellow flag and a huge train of cars here, and something is going wrong down in that back end of the car. And as we reverse it backwards a bit, it's Esteban Gutierrez, and unfortunately he actually has a front right puncture, but has decided to form a little bit of a train. And as you, here it is right here, so we've got Gutierrez, there's the puncture, there's Palmer, there's another Haas car. We got Palmer, we got Grosjean, we've got my teammate Rosberg, who's all the way back down there. Alonso, Ericsson, Fiat, Verstappen's there, and that actually caused a virtual safety car, which is no surprises there. So obviously we're going to have to wait now until Gutierrez can get himself in the pits A very sensible option there from the stewards. Wait to bring the virtual safety car all the way in. There you can see the virtual safety car is ending, and you can actually see Gutierrez in the pits there. I took the advantage because the virtual safety car came in at the very right time for me. And I was able to gain about a second and a half by kind of accelerating early. Because it tells you to slow down after 15 seconds, so I'll just take the 15 seconds and pull away massively. Lap 19 of the Grand Prix now, and tyres are starting to go off. Bit of a problem here. Bottas is closing in on me as well, very rapidly. Gonna have to go around the outside of Verline in the stadium section. Kind of maybe wanted to move out the way a bit quicker, but we now need to consider making a new strategy. These soft tyres will not go to the rain, because I don't know when the rain's falling. It keeps saying it, so we're going to unfortunately have to make another pit stop. I didn't want to make a pit stop, but I'm going to have to at the end of the day here. And we're coming into the pits now, but we're not going to go onto the medium tyres. We're actually going to brave it out and chuck on a set of super soft tyres. Now, as you can see, we're held up a little bit in the pits because my team weren't ready for me because Rosberg came in. But, of course, he's pretty much a lap down in this race. Bottas is now right behind me, so I've really got some problems here. But the Williams car's on mediums. I've gone for super softs in this race. But Massa again went for the undercut now. Through towards this corner now. Massa jumps Bottas. Will he jump us? No, he won't. We'll defend cleanly from Felipe here. So Massa got really close there to making the jump on us now as we come flying through here towards this back straight now. Massa's going to have the DRS, the slipstream, and that Williams-powered car. You can see him coming through, flying through this back straight now. Williams' car is coming through. As you can see now, Massa there with the DRS, slipstream in hand. We're going to shove him really, really wide, give him an ultimate squeeze there, and into the hairpin we go. We defend from Massa for the time being. We've just got to fend him off for a little bit longer now. And now's the chance. We've got about 3, 4, maybe 5 laps at most until this rain arrives. It's time to get the hammer down and really push here. Onto lap 23 of the Grand Prix, the rain is falling and I'm struggling on track now. And it's time, I felt, for me to come in for a set of the intermediate tyres. This might be a bit early for Inters, but I just didn't have any grip anymore. And it wasn't because the super softs were wearing out. They had good tyre wear. I just didn't have any grip on track. So the track was getting really greasy. And I felt like this is maybe a lap too early for Inters, but I couldn't go out there and continue onwards, especially as well because there was a billion back markers behind in front of us. So we now have to do a very interesting stint here. So let's see if these intermediate tyres work, and let's see if we've done the right thing here. Lap 25 of the Grand Prix now, so this is a whole lap later, and unfortunately, oh, well, there we go. It turns out that the DRS has now been disabled. So we were pretty much, I think, a lap early for Inters. If we stayed out, excuse me, if we, lap 23 we came into the pits. So I think we were just a bit too early. Lap 27 of the Grand Prix now. Massa makes his exit from the pit stop, and the gap between myself and Bottas is now 3.9 seconds. So I did actually gain 1.9 seconds, but we pitted on the end of lap 23. If we pitted on the end of lap 24, that would have been the perfect call for Inters, but it's not to worry here. On to lap 33 now, going to be starting the last lap of this Grand Prix. It appears that the Williams car, Bottas, was so much quicker than me in the wet periods. I'm glad it wasn't a full wet race, to be honest, because you can see I'm already struggling as much as it is, but Bottas was so much faster in this intermediate phase that I'm kind of glad that it wasn't an intermediate, a full intermediate race, because I would have been absolutely screwed. But anyway, we're going to carry things onwards here. Through this now back straight here, Bottas is going to get in the slipstream of our car, but we're going to break the slipstream slightly. Now we're going to go back into the slipstream, and now we're going to break it again. And Bottas getting very, very close to our rear end, but we don't need to worry about that. But we've got Verstappen now in the way in the hairpin, and we're going to break it a little bit harder, try and get better traction on Verstappen, and we do just that. And Bottas is held by Max Verstappen there. That's a slight blessing, because I thought Bottas was going to overtake me in this Grand Prix, but through we come now, and all is going to be well for me in my Mercedes. Through we go into the final sector. I can't see Bottas making an overtake on us now. It is kind of done and dusted here, and you can see just accelerating through, coming towards the stadium section now. We can cruise it here. We got 7/10 on Bottas, a very small advantage, but you know, you can't overtake really in this stadium section. It's not an overtaking spot, so we can just kind of cruise it around now, as we've done a very good race here in this German Grand Prix. Sector last corner, a little bit wide there, but we just managed to get to the corner. Last corner, clip the apex perfectly there, and around the final corner. Brilliant exit there, and that is going to be it here. P1 for the German Grand Prix, and again, our momentum continues in this career mode as we are now going in full swing, and this career mode for Mercedes-Benz. And Toto Wolff there on the pit wall looking absolutely ecstatic. I do not see where Niki Lauda is. Yeah, we'll just have to find out where Niki is later on. But there it is, guys. P1 for myself here in the Mercedes team. And the Williams cars wrap up the other podium places, as Nico Rosberg unfortunately was not a contender in this race after his first lap spin. Sort of just had to basically fight his way at the field, as we see a floating Perez there in the background, which is kind of funny. Yeah, there it is on the podium, guys. We take the win today. It was kind of a very straightforward Grand Prix for us. The first stint on the soft tyres, we were much quicker than the Williams cars. The second stint, we were much quicker again on the soft tyres. It was a bit of a mess, really. I would have preferred to have got those medium tyres on. It would have meant that I would have executed the perfect strategy that I was looking for. I would have been able to have pit about literally on the rain period there, and I would have been able to have skipped a stop and yeah, got a much bigger win. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We got the win nonetheless. Yeah, the Williams cars, they were definitely quicker in the wet weather phases, but that's not to worry there. Gap of the championship is 84 points, but again, I'm not taking that for granted. I know it's a really big advantage, and I know it probably means that I could go on and win the championship yet again. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to take that for granted, because as we look at the constructor standings there, I'm not going to be upgrading this Mercedes car as much anymore, because I still want Williams to be the fastest car to give me a battle towards the end of the season. Because if I keep pounding on upgrades for this car, we probably will win the championship. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'll see you guys next time for the Belgian Grand Prix on Saturday. So take care all, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.